Hi everyone, I am back with take 3 of my live. It's unbelievable how many times I have experienced technology disruption today, but your girl is not giving up. I am here again, restarting this live, and we were in the middle of Ask Me Anything part of this live, and the question was, Shakti, what do I do when I experience this like internal lack, scarcity, that I don't have enough to invest in anything? And whether it's an investment in a supportive container like Soulbiz Leadership, it could be investment in the systems you wanna bring into your business. It could be investment in things that you want to sign up for that replenish you. This lack is so real, and it's such a big part of an entrepreneurship journey. And I think what creates this is this expectation that somebody will give us that sense of security, because and which kind of happens in a job setting, right? At the end of your job, you get a paycheck and you have that sense of security. But being an entrepreneur, that sense of security is something no one can give us. No one can say, you do what you need to do and I'll pay the bills. So then what do we do? What do? We take matters in our own hands. We start to create this sense of security for ourselves. And one really good question that I ask myself whenever my mind goes in a state of lack and scarcity is, Shakti, what's your offer out there in the world right now? Because most times it happens when I don't have an offer. And when I don't have an offer, you tell me, guys, when I don't have an offer, how will I get money in, right? How do I manifest money when I don't have anything out in the world? And this is the level of sense of safety, that sense of security. I want to invite you to step in. When the mind starts to play out, ask yourself, what is my offer out there? Why is it not out there? And what can you do to put offers out there so you can start to manifest growth, so you can start to receive income coming into your business? And a lot of times we don't ask ourselves this question. And what happens most times is that our mind goes in a state of lack and scarcity, and we keep propagating that lack and scarcity through and through in our business and through in our life. So my invitation to you is to take the matters in your own hands. Whenever these thoughts of scarcity come up, you ask yourself, what am I doing to bring in income? And that means, for me, most of the times, that means, Shakti, put an offer out there so that people start to see you and people start to pay you and your business get to generate income. And that would be my invitation to you all. Another question came up, which is, I'm an empath. My energies are constantly up and down, constantly up and down. How do I build business in that case? Like, is that even for me? And being an empath, lifelong empath, I fully understand the pulse of this question, because we are just so sensitive in our bodies, right? We are affected. By the way, I have a blue jay flying outside in the forest. That's what I was looking at. We are so sensitive to everything happening in our world. And not only there are ways to protect energy and use the tools, but beyond that, I want to just take a stand today and say, actually, creating a business, growing a business is even more important for empaths like us who need more space in their life to be sensitive, more space in the life to be free from having to fit into the boxes created by other people, right? The first thing you can do if you feel sensitive and you don't trust in your sensitivity is to accept that this is your body's natural energetic cycle. your energies naturally go up and down, and see if you can play with these beautiful ups and downs. And that means for me, business wise, that I organize my day with my meditation practice in the morning. I organize my schedule to have a breathwork practice in the afternoon. Most days I take a nap. I work in these chunks where my productivity peaks, and when my energy drops, I just crawl in my bed, the bed that you see behind here. I crawl up there, hold myself in a comforter, and just allow myself to be and take that break. And then when I wake up from my nap, then I do more work. And my schedule is just works around this, my sensitive needs. So being able to accept that about you, put your needs up front ahead of everything else is important. And then the next invitation that I have for you is to embrace the shadow, integrate and embrace the shadow that says that when you are sensitive, you have to stop everything, right? Whenever you're triggered as a sensitive soul, that you have to stop. And you absolutely need to take a pause. I highly recommend you pause when you're triggered with energy, but at the same time, taking these triggers not as what stops your business growth, but allowing these triggers to propel you forward in your growth, right? And when you start to integrate these shadows, these stops, these limits, these triggers in a way that asking yourself, okay, how do I see this as something that is working for me? How do I see this happening as something that actually propels me towards the goal I have for me this month? That is when you start to integrate this beautiful shadow and really thrive in that. I'm gonna take a stand for you. If you are an empath, you are a sensitive soul, your leadership in the world is needed more now than ever before. We all have been invalidated because of our emotions, because our energy is going up and down. This is a time we get to accept this part of us. We get to really own this part of us in this fucking massive way and say, I am going to play with this. I'm going to accept myself in this. I'm going to work when I feel up for working, and I'm going to rest when I want to rest. And allow these beautiful feminine cycles to propel you forward in your growth. This is our time as empath leaders to stand up, to show the world that there is a different way of living life where we do not have to suppress our emotions. We take the feedback of our emotions, we take care of ourselves, we dig in, find the gems, find the wisdom, and keep going. Keep going. We are not here to back down on our mission. And let's just take a deep breath right here. Keep going. That's all I want to say to you. Another question, do I need a website and invest in systems if I'm getting my business started? You do not. You do not. You don't need to have these, this like masculine world checklist to adhere to. You can have a thriving business without all that. And there are other very low cost substitutes that you can use. For example, if you don't have a website, that's okay. Use a Facebook page, an Instagram business page, that would do it. If you don't have like a email CRM system, you use MailChimp, which is a free account. MailChimp allows you to send emails to people in your email list. MailChimp also allows you to create a landing page. If you have an event, you can host it on Eventbrite, again, free. There are plenty of free options out there. What you do need is your visibility though. Your visibility, you speaking up. just like how I'm speaking up to you, I'm not giving you, I mean, yes, I gave you a website link, but people buy your services because of you. They don't buy because your systems are fancy. Systems are only important to make your business run in an easy way. And as you start to increase your income every step of the way, you can then have an option of investing in systems. Some of my clients don't have a website right now, and what we do is we create PDF. Once you have your transformational program created, by end of this month, you can put together a PDF that I will guide you to how to organize and structure it. And in the PDF you can, and that's just using a Canva Pro account, in the PDF you can list the steps your clients will take in a journey with you. And these steps, when somebody is on a call with you, or you're giving a talk, or you're talking to someone, whether it's a group or one-on-one, you can walk people through a PDF, and that would do it. You can sign up for a PayPal account that will charge a little portion of your income, but it will help you process your orders just fine. So don't worry about any fanciness, because we tend to overcomplicate things sometimes, and I'm guilty of doing that a lot. And if you are feeling any level of restlessness or worry about whether you need to invest in big systems right away, you do not, until you get to a point where literally everything can be done. You have Google Drive, right? You do your sessions, you put your recordings there, YouTube is available. You can distribute a lot of these things without making big investments to your clients. But there will be another point where you want to do pre-recorded programs and courses, right? And there will be ease in that when you have that level of income coming in, some level of income that allows you to reinvest in your business, then you can sign up for Kajabi and Allure, and many other options like those. And I love Allure. All of my work is hosted on Allure. We are also doing a demo of Allure on May 21st. So if you feel inspired to, there's a group, Marissa, who owns Allure, who founded Allure. She is going to give a demo to us. And if you want to check out a system, you're welcome to join us for that as well. So that being said, I see beautiful Rachel online. She says, yes, listen to our body rhythm. So important, right? This is everything. We got to play with our strengths. And there's a lot of freedom when we do that, in that acceptance. All right. There's a question about, I feel drawn to many different modalities, tools. How do I pick one that I want to offer to my Soul Aligned clients? A beautiful participant asked this question. She was like, I feel like a kid in a candy store, Shakti. I do tarot, I do this, I do that. How do I pick one? And the beauty is that you do not have to pick one. You get to play. You get to play with all different tools, all different modalities. And what I would help you do, and I would also want to invite you to, is to think about how you get to integrate all parts of you, all the things that you're drawn to, into one offering, and grow that one offering at a time. So you don't have to pick one. You get to play with many different tools and modalities that you are enjoying in your work. And this is not a matter of, is this the right one? Is that the right one? It is a matter of, and this and this and this, and you get to use them in different setting, in different modules of the journey that you will create for your Soul Aligned clients. All right, and with that, I have one of the last questions. So if you have any question, put in the chat window, put in the chat, in the comments right now. While I work on this last question, and this is asked by a dear connection that I made today, and she said, Shakti, I have a meditation podcast. How do I grow it? Right? So we as entrepreneurs run into many different scenarios where we start something and then we have to think about the growth part of it. And I want to just validate that sometimes thoughts come up. Am I doing this wrong? Do people not like what I'm putting out in the world? Do I need to scratch this idea and move to the next one? I want to validate what you have created is really powerful, really powerful. And the two questions so this is not a question of whether what you have created is valid or not. What you have created, the meditation podcast, is very valid. It's very useful. Now, my two questions that I want to invite to ask yourself is, number one, is podcast the right format for my soul aligned clients? That means whoever your clients are, interviewing some of them and asking, is this the right channel for me to distribute my meditations to you? Or would you prefer a closer group, or a Facebook group, or a YouTube video, or an email sent to your mailbox? How do you prefer to receive these meditations? Because meditations are very nuanced practice, right? Like we gotta create that space in our mind, in our life. And is podcast the right format is the question I would ask them for the meditations. And this is something only your soul aligned clients can answer for you. People who are already plugged into the podcast, asking them, how is this serving you? And if there's a different format they prefer, really listening to that feedback. The second question I would also ask you is, how much energy are you putting to grow this, to distribute this, to share this with people? Because oftentimes it happens so much. It happened with me, all my entrepreneur's journey of 8 years, is that I would create things and then I would expect people to keep engaging and keep like subscribing to, right? But I learned that if people subscribe to things, because my energies are present there, right? And if I'm not speaking about something actively, then it just falls off from people's radar. It just doesn't have the aliveness and the energy that's needed for growth. So how much of you are people get to see in your marketing, in your sharing on social media, in your flyers, in your emails, in things that you're putting out in the world to tell people, hey, I got something of value. And marketing is such an important constant. It's constant. It's every day. Marketing is a very important part of any business growth. So I would like to ask you how you're marketing this meditation podcast. And if you are already marketing, then put in the comments, what do your flyers look like? What do your social media posts look like? And, I can spin my head and share some ideas if that is something you're already working on. And if you're not working on it, then start with those two questions. What is your client's feedback? How are you marketing actively all the time on your social media, in your local communities? And this is the way you get to really grow your community to the level that you really want it to be grown to. I hope this was helpful. These were a handful of questions that were submitted. I hope this was helpful. These were a handful of questions submitted ahead of time. And if you have any other questions, please put them in the comments. I'll try my best to answer them, whether through a live or through a written comment. But I just want to make sure everybody is feeling supported in this group. And just as a next step, we have a beautiful offer out there for Soul Biz Leadership. And if you feel inspired to joining us, there is a time sensitive component to it by midnight this Sunday. And sign up. We're gonna rock this. We're gonna have a massive party. You're gonna be so safe, connected, and encouraged and supported to take these steps forward towards your six-figure business growth. And I can't wait to hug you, welcome you in our container. I know you're born to succeed. I know you're born to really be out there, be a leader in your community. And it's my highest honor to see you taking these steps forward in your growth. And if you have any questions about Soul Biz Leadership, please reach out, put a comment, send me a DM. You know where to find me, right? Send me a note so that we can maybe set up some time to chat about it, and I get to answer your questions one-on-one. All right, you all, stay blessed. Take absolute best care of your bodies, your souls, and I will see you soon in this group. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.